corrected because there are some people who lie in wait for the slip of the lisan. And I gave that example again about the companion. So right here I want to make it clear, Khwani. Whether it was that companion or other than that companion, I free myself of that mistake. That was from my lisan. That was a mistake. That was based upon my ignorance. I didn't know he was a companion. Now I know he's a companion. When my brother calls me Abu Muawiyah and he tells me he's a companion, I get benefit now because of the advice of my brother. So in that issue, I'm better today than I was the day that I mentioned it. Why would you take the mistake and make tashhir and try to get me by that statement when all you had to do was advise me? So whether it was that situation or anything other than that, as it relates to the companions, my aqidah concerning the companions is that we make wala wal bara on people because of what they believe in the companions, radiyallahu anhum. So I free myself of that kalam. It was a mistake, but that was the background. Another thing, ikhwani, that I want to make clear as well from what the Haddadi people are saying here. The Haddadi people, Abu Khadeejah, these people want to expel people off of the sunnah because of mistakes that they make. Sometimes it's real mistakes that come as a result of ignorance, and sometimes it's perceived mistakes on their part. Another issue that keeps coming up is a while ago, 2001, 2002. What year are we in right now? 2008, 2001, 2002. I gave a khutbah, a series of khutbah about this hadith. 5 things, if these 5 things happen to you, and I seek refuge in Allah from these things happening to you. And then the Prophet went on to mention each thing. I gave a khutbah about that particular thing. One of the things that he mentioned is if the leaders of the Muslims start fighting one another and they put the book behind their back. In talking about that hadith in the khutbah in public, I mentioned Saudi Arabia and how they had all of that gold, and how the Arabs in the Khalij or the Gulf states, instead of using the gold to bring the non-Muslims to their knees, to better the lot of the Muslims, they use it for themselves. And I made a number of statements that were inappropriate against that government. Since that time, at that time, some of the people who I take as shuyukh, Ali al-Halabi, Salim al-Hilali, Hamid Musa al-Nasr, Sam al-Qusi, at that time, they all sat me down and they said this was a mistake. You shouldn't have said it. The reason why is, number one, you went over and you studied from that oil money. So they gave you ihsan. They gave you ihsan. How are you going to repay their ihsan with sa'a? You have to repay ihsan with ihsan. Number two, the people who this is their dawah, the hukam, they're kuffar. They're going to look at you and say, look, Abu Usamah is an individual who also believes like us. And then it'll be a shubha. And then you'll have some young people looking at you, following you in that way. He said, and number three, they all said, number three, as it relates to this particular issue, and that is, this is not the way of the Salaf, to talk about the hukam like that in public. So what did I do, ikhwani? I came and publicly retracted that statement. In 2002, 2001, I wrote an email and I gave a lesson. And in that email, the Haddadis from Troy, Troid, Troy in Canada, they put my retraction on their internet. So they know about it. They know that I retracted that. The people at Wright Street, Abu Khadeejah, he knows that I retracted that. He knows. But what does he do? He's still using that to tell people Abu Usamah is against the hukam. So for your information, ikhwani, I want to let you know that this was a retraction from a long time ago. And when I retracted that statement, I said, why should I not retract this statement when retracting a mistake, that's honorable. There's nothing bad about saying I was wrong. That's a sign of a person's humility, inshallah. And I also said, there's a great sheikh, a muhaddith of this asr, a Sheikh Muqbil, rahimahullah ta'ala, from Yemen. Sheikh Muqbil used to talk about Saudi Arabia a lot. But before he died, alhamdulillah, he retracted all of what he said and he took it back and he said it was wrong. I said, if the sheikh who is greater than me can do that, then who am I that I can't do that as well? So I retracted it. So what did those people do, Ikhwani? What did the Haddadis do? The Haddadis said, look at Abu Usamah. He's comparing himself with Sheikh Muqbil. He thinks he's on the level of Sheikh Muqbil. That wasn't the point. So it was retracted, and I don't believe in that. And I don't have a consistent pattern of doing that since that time. So why are people taking things from 2001, 2002? It's because people have ulterior motives. The other thing that I want to mention is this issue of a takfir that has come to me as well. One of the leaders there at that masjid used to study in Al-Madinah. He didn't complete his studies for one reason or another. It's not of interest to me why he didn't finish. But he's one of the leaders who gives the khutbah there. Bilal Davis told some brothers recently that I'm takfir. I thought that was really weird, because the takfiris of this country and the takfiri of America and the takfiris in the West, they hate me more than they hate the Haddadis. And that's because of what they believe, that I testified against Umar Abdul Rahman, and that's just a kedr, no dalil for them in that. I refuted a tape of Umar Abdul Rahman, and I said that it's not from the Sunnah, and it's not supported by the kalam of the Quran, and it's not what the ulama of this da'wah are upon, and it had nothing to do with the shakhsiyah, or the personality of that man. And because of the people's love for him, they are at odds with me. You find them hating Abu Usamah more than they hate those people. But yet the Haddadis from Wright Street say that I am a takfiri. So this was brought to me just recently by some of the brothers. So I just thought, and I continue to believe, that it is amazing, Ikhwani. So in bringing this to your attention, I wanted to give this CD to these people of this place today. So I'm mentioning it here, because there are people who are sitting here right now who have come to me, and they've said to me over the years, why don't you people make peace? And I would say to that brother, you go to them and you tell them, anytime they want to sit, any issues that they have, I'm more than willing to come to listen. I'm more than willing. They show me the mistake, whatever it is, I'm more than willing to publicly deal with it. Each and every time a brother went, he came back with no positive response. One brother in particular went, came back and said, yeah, the brother said he'll meet you. And then he came back and he said, no, the brother said that he won't meet you. So a Sheikh Falah Ismail, Hafidhahullah Ta'ala, is a student of knowledge from Al-Kuwait. He's well known, ma'roof, mashhoor for his Salafiyah, ma'roof, mashhoor for his knowledge. He's a strong student of knowledge. Sheikh, he's here. He was here. People are always coming here. Sheikh Wasi Allah and other than them. Why don't we sit with the people of knowledge and hash these things out? Bring your issues to the table and let's deal with them. The way of the Haddadis is the way of not ever dealing with the problem. It's just making accusations from far, far away without dealing with the issue. So if a Sheikh Falah Ismail is still here, or anyone else from the shuyukh who they take from, doesn't have to be a sheikh who they don't take from, I'm more than willing to sit with him, to sit with them, to iron these issues out, to hash these issues out. This is the way of the people of the Sunnah. Here I am. In your eyes, I'm an innovator. In your eyes, I'm an innovator. And I'm coming to you, saying to you, guide me, help me, guide me. What person from the innovative ways is going to come to the people of the Sunnah and say, teach me and guide me? I'm opening up my heart and my mind to you. I'm not being argumentative. Wallahi, you have the truth. I just want to know what's your truth. And the one of the Sunnah says, no, we don't debate and we don't talk to the people of innovation. I'm making it easy for you. I'm coming to you with an open heart, open mind. So that's my call. That's my claim. You want to do it, however you want to do it, then I'm more than willing. As it relates to the Haddadis, Ikhwani, the Haddadis have a number of characteristics. One of the characteristics is they have double standards. Double standards.